Hi there and welcome. These are your handover videos for your Sprite Quattro EB. These are a basic walkthrough on how to set up and operate the caravan as if you were coming on or off site. So starting off first, we have your black kit shed here with black lever that you have to have pulled up like so. So then you can wind down the jockey wheel onto the table, causing it to snap down and pushing up this red button. You have this breakaway cable just here. Now the Galaxy states if you have an eye point it has to be used, if not wrap it around the tow bar. Handbrake is just here, down to disengage, up to engage. They can come up with a fair bit of force as well. You have 13-pin electric here, so if you do have 7-pin adaptation, make sure to bring yourself an adapter. Jockey wheel just here, sits inside the A-frame whilst travelling, and apart from that, use this part to level. 2 points either side and 2 points at the back. You have inserts for your legs. Now the caravan itself will come with a leg winder, or alternatively you can get yourself a 19mm drill bit and a power drill just to make it that bit quicker. Do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using your legs. They're simply used for stabilisation. Now we're using test equipment today, so first up I have a red propane gas bottle. I'd always recommend propane over butane as it has a better performance during winter. Connected onto that is a black gas hose. Now black gas hoses will run for 5 years, orange will run for 10. That connects onto this regulator just here. What you want to do is hand tighten that as much as you physically can and then just nip it up using a spanner. You don't want it ridiculously tight as that will put excessive pressure onto the actual O-ring inside the hose. Too much pressure causes it to crack and break, leading gas to leak out. So once both sides are firmly connected, twist the gas bottle on in the positive or open direction. You have your flue just here, which is used to get clean air in and out of your boiler when operating on gas. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice, clean and tidy. I have my test acroll just here and your water pump. Now to remove a pump, press in on the trigger and pull out. I'd also recommend occasionally lubricating these rubber seals as they can get a bit tight. You have this blue cap to go over the top of the acroll to ensure no nastiness gets in. And then at the bottom we have your strainer. Now it's crucial that the strainer sits at the bottom of the barrel to allow the maximum potential of water to come through. Now these do have a tendency to curl up, so my recommendation is to get some PVC tubing or something similar, attach it to the bottom of the hose so it's always nice and straight. Then to engage, press in until you hear that click. Battery locker just here. This example doesn't have a battery fitted, however when you do come to fit one, it's a 12 or 13mm spanner for the terminals, and connect the positive terminal first. Just here, plug in for your mains, and you have a little cutout there as well. Then just here we have your toilet capacity. So we have 2 points here where your wastewater is going to come out of from both your shower and your sinks. You'll need some 28.5mm waste pipe to then feed into a waste master that you can empty out at the appropriate point on site. Just here we have your flush tank. This has a capacity to hold around 12 litres of water, however I wouldn't recommend putting in any more than 10 as you don't want to overfill the compartment. You can also add some pink chemical which works as a bleach without being corrosive and makes it smell a bit nicer. However, you don't need any more than a cupful as it's a lot thicker than water and it can clog the internals. Then just here we have the cassette toilet. Now to remove this, press up on the orange handle and pull out towards you. Now this handle does extend out and up, so it can be used similar to a carry-on suitcase. Then what you'll want to do when you're at the appropriate point on site is twist this head to the side, open up this cap like so. You'll then want to pick it up, tilt, and at the same time as tilting, continually pressing your vent button. Then what I would recommend doing is opening up this compartment here, like so, feeding in some fresh water, giving it a bit of a shake, and again tilt and vent. Then on this cap just here you have measurements in both imperial and metric, and that is for your blue chemical. Blue chemical goes into there, twist it back onto the top, and then twist the head to the side, push the cassette in so the orange handle sits behind those white teeth, as then it's not going to jump out whilst travelling. Now you don't want to travel whilst either of these two are full, so just here, got a little bung to drain off any remaining water from the flush tank. The caravan itself will be fully drained off before you leave with it. Underneath your right hand side seat you have all of this here, so I won't recommend storing anything under here. You have your boiler just here, which is a Truma combi boiler. You also have your flow jet, which is what's going to pull through the water from the aquaroll outside to the actual boiler, and that is through these blue connections here, which you can also see has this yellow switch valve. Facing in the position as it is now, that is allowing the flow of water to come through. However, switch it up to the vertical position and that will drain off any remaining water from the system. That's also how you will collect the caravan. November to March, have that up permanently unless you're actively using the caravan, and any time you come off site, give the caravan a drain off. This silver box mounted to the side is the equivalent of the battery charger. We then have your trips and fuses, all trips in the upright position, all fuses in the correct position. I'd always recommend carrying some extra fuses across the van. You can then see on top, heating and hot water and charger are both illuminated, showing that they're both working. You then have a reverse polarity setting if you ever go abroad, and a complete system shutdown button. Press that in, nothing inside the van is able to operate. Then if you need some more information on your trips and fuses, pull down this panel, gives you a bit more info. Then just here we have your Swift command board. This tells you internal and external temperature, humidity, time, date, leisure battery charge. Don't have a leisure battery on it at the moment, so that's just what's coming through mains. We have the pump button just here, which I'm not going to press as I've just drained it off, but what happens is a light blue border comes around it. Next to that we have awning light, so you can see when it's selected. A brighter yellow comes on, and then you can see awning light is on just there. We then have lighting, so you've got two different choices. You've got dimmer 1 and dimmer 2. So you press in on them, and as you can see, the lights come on, and then you just have to use your representative switches. But what you can also do is dim the light. So pressing down on this is the lowest, and then gradually working its way back up. I'm not sure how well this comes across on the camera, and that's the highest. And then to turn off the lights, press in on the middle. We then have power just here, which shows 13.8/9 is coming from the leisure battery, which in this case is the mains, nothing from solar and nothing from vehicle. AC current, and then you can also set a limit to that. Settings, this is general settings, so time, date, day, screen brightness, screen timeout, and then Bluetooth pairings and key beep. So all fairly self-explanatory there. However, what you can do is you can press and hold in on this panel on the settings button, and it will take you through to advanced settings. Now, I would not recommend messing about with any of this, as we've set this to what we believe is the best to use. Now, there is options on here, and you will see people online saying about syncing your fridge and syncing your heater. You can do it, however, usually what happens is that it trips them out because it's got two different control panels. So don't do it, in my recommendation. Just keep whatever the basics are to the basics. Then radio, you've got a couple of modes up here, and then you can scan and do presets like any other type of radio. You also have your radio module just there where you can plug into aux. Now, occasionally this screen may not work, it may freeze up, which is completely natural. It's the same with any type of screen. So what you have to do is a recalibration, and to do that you have to press and hold in continually. It will turn itself off like it does there, and that's usually where you take your finger off to turn it off, but we're going to keep our finger on it. And then what's going to happen in a second is it's going to come to this blue screen, and it's going to tell us to recalibrate the dots. There you go, touch the dots to calibrate. Should tell us in a second. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, and there it goes. It's calibrated. So wait for it to flash off. Which can just take a second. Oops, asking me to do it again. and then you can just turn the panel back on, and then you can just see everything's working. And then when you come to turn it off, press and hold in and let go after that first beep. Just here we have your trimmer control panel. You have the back button and a dial, which is also a select button. Press in and then you'll come to this screen. So first up you have the caravan with the thermometer in it. Press in on that. Now this is for the internal temperature. It goes up to a maximum of 30, and to select, press in. You'll then see the flame on the top and the previous settings. Next we have water temperature, which is either off, eco, which will get it to about 40 degrees, hot, which will get it to 60, or boost. Now what boost does, it prioritizes heating the water over heating the actual caravan. That lasts for around about 30 minutes. After those 30 minutes, it will then drop itself back down to eco. Okay, if I don't select, it doesn't appear on the top row. Next to that, we have our energy source. So we can either use strictly gas, a mixture of gas and 1 kilowatt, mixture of gas and 2 kilowatt, strictly electric with 1 kilowatt, or strictly electric with 2 kilowatts. So you've got the choice of gas means or both. Then we have fan speed, which is either eco or high. However, if you don't have the heating on, so just turn that off, and then we go back over to the fan. It's either off or vent. Now what vent does, it just pushes air with no temperature to it. So if you were to have all the windows open on a nice day, you can just push through some fresh air. We then have a timer just here, so this is for when you'd like the heating and hot water to come on, hours then minutes, and then the correct time, which it isn't 20 minutes past midnight, just select the correct time. And then you have the spanner icon, which is your additional settings, which I'm not going to run through as we have set this to what we believe the most user-friendly panel to use. However, if you'd like to have a look inside your book packs to see what it does, then please do so. Naturally, this screen will fade off when not interacted with. However, when you want to completely turn it off, press and hold in on the button, turns itself off. Now make sure you do that, as otherwise what's going to happen is it's going to come up with an error code for improper shutdown. As we can see here, you have a nice steady continuous stream. Now what you're after is around about 30 seconds of this stream, just so that you can make sure it's coming through with no problems. Now when you first come to use it, it may be a case that you get a couple of coughs and splutters, which is completely natural. But if it continues for more than about 10 seconds, check your drain valve, check your pump, and check your act valve. Just make sure that they're all in the correct position. Then what you're after is about 30 seconds. Turn it off at the actual tap first. Come back over to your panel, turn off the pump, and then switch up on your drain valve just to the upright position. I would also recommend as well, after you've done that, any taps you've used to open them up to drain out any residual water. And then when you come to get everything set back up, shut up the taps, shut down the drain valve, then turn on the pump. And just here we have your hob, grill and oven, all of which operate on gas. So all you have to do, press in, twist the dial to the side and press in your igniter. Now it may be a case when you come to use this that these will light and then cut off, or they may just take a while to light when you first come to use them. That's completely natural, that's the gas making its way through the system. This is what it looks like when they're all lit. As you can see, all burners nice and lit. Switch it to vertical position. It's your same concept for your grill, so press in, twist to the side and press in on the igniter. Now you can see one side's lit, then the other, and then lastly your oven. Now make sure that this tray does not intrude on the igniter, so press in, twist to the side. You can see that light's just there. Only other real thing to note is that whilst travelling, have this glass sheet down, but don't put it down until all burners are cold to the touch. And anytime you come off site, make sure the gas bottle is off. And here we have your Dometic fridge operation. So to turn this on, press and hold in on the leftmost button. It'll flash up and go to its most recent memory, which in this case is gas. Now for gas, I'd recommend running through your hob grill and oven first to make sure the gas is coming through correctly. You may gradually hear it tick in, but you don't have to do anything because it's all automatic. We can then change the mode using this top button. So press it once, goes over to mains. Press it again, goes to auto. Now auto selects mains as the best source to use. 99% of the time, if you're plugged into mains, it will select that. Now when I select again, it's going to go to that battery symbol. That battery symbol is only representative of 13-pin electric whilst towing. So you'll see in a second, and it's going to flash up and give me a hazard. So we'll just go back over to mains. We then have the amount of power coming into the fridge. So 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. 5 being the most powerful, so it is going to chill it the quickest. However, even on full capacity, it is going to take around 4 hours to fully chill. You'll also see inside blue lights on when the fridge is on. And when you come to turn it off, press and hold in. No more lights. Now make sure as well when you are turning it on or off, you don't leave the door open as it can trip it out. Just here we have your toilet capacity. So all you have to do, press in the button. And there you can hear the motor. Then what you want to do to release the waste is press away on the handle, opens up the catch, and then pull it back towards you to be able to remove the actual waste itself. Then on this tab just here, there'll be a red light under there to tell you that the cassette is full and it needs to be emptied.